Hello and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Emily. So glad you're here with us. Today's episode is a bit of a heart-to-heart. We're talking about the kind of growth that doesn't always feel good in the moment, but still matters deeply in the long run.
Yeah, the tough bits. The messy, tiring, sometimes totally confusing middle bits of change. The kind where you wonder if any of it's even working.
Exactly. It's not always clear when you're in it. You start doing the work, maybe healing, maybe letting go, maybe just trying to get out of bed with a little more purpose, and it feels like you're going nowhere.
But here's the thing. Just because progress isn't loud or obvious, doesn't mean it isn't happening. Sometimes, the biggest changes are the ones that happen quietly, internally.
That version of you that you're trying to grow into. They're being shaped by the very struggle you're in now. The discipline, the hard choices, the small decisions to keep going when it's easier to stop, that's what builds something lasting.
And I think we forget that becoming someone stronger, calmer, wiser, it takes discomfort. Like growing pains. You're stretching into something new, and your old habits, your old fears, they're going to push back.
Totally. You're shedding parts of yourself that maybe once kept you safe. Or made sense at the time. And now they don't fit anymore, but letting go of them still feels like grief.
It does. And yet, there's power in that space. That uncomfortable in-between where you're no longer who you were, but not quite who you're becoming.
That's where the real transformation lives. Not in the polished, finished moments, but in the raw, uncertain ones.
You don't always realize it when it's happening, either. Sometimes you only look back months later and go, wow. I handled that. I kept going. I changed.
And that version of you who pushed through when everything felt pointless. They were already becoming someone resilient. Someone deeper. Someone worth all of it.
You won't always feel strong while you're becoming strong. But that doesn't make the strength any less real.
And the person you're becoming. They're not only worth the struggle, they're shaped by it. Every doubt, every fall, every choice to keep moving forward, that's all part of it.
And maybe that's the part we don't say enough, that the journey itself is just as important as the outcome. You don't become who you're meant to be by skipping the messy middle.
No, you become that person by standing back up after another long day. By choosing the hard thing, because it aligns with who you want to be, not just what feels good in the moment.
And some days, the win is just not quitting. Not giving in to the voice that says you haven't changed or that it's all pointless.
That voice is loud sometimes. But it's not the truth. Just because you're tired doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. And still here.
I think we underestimate what it takes to keep going without applause. Without someone cheering you on. When it's just you, your quiet effort, and a future version of yourself you haven't fully met yet.
Yes. That future you. They're watching. They're grateful. And they'll carry everything you're pushing through right now like a gift. A quiet thank you for not giving up.
And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Honest with yourself. Willing to keep trying, even if it's slow.
Because slow growth is still growth. And real transformation takes time. Not every seed blooms in the same season.
Sometimes you're underground, still rooting. Still building the kind of foundation that can actually hold the life you're working towards.
And that's enough. You're enough. Even here, even now, even if you're still becoming. Especially because you're still becoming.
You know, there's something really powerful in the fact that you're still trying. Even if you've stumbled, even if it's messy, there's courage in continuing.
And we often forget that nobody sees the inner work we're doing. The thoughts we challenge. The boundaries we build. The emotional weight we carry, and choose not to pass on.
Right. The kind of effort that doesn't show up on a resume or a timeline. But it's shaping you. Slowly, gently, persistently.
And even if you don't see the results yet, that doesn't mean they are not there. Some days the win is in the restraint. In not reacting the same way you used to. In staying quiet when you would have fought. Or in speaking up when you would have stayed silent.
Those tiny shifts, they add up. They are like emotional muscle. You're getting stronger in ways you can't always measure.
And I think part of the beauty of becoming someone new is that you start surprising yourself. You realize you're capable of more calm, more clarity, more depth than you had before.
And maybe even more compassion. Not just for others, but for yourself. For the version of you that struggled, that made mistakes, that tried.
Yes. The journey asks a lot of us, but it also teaches us to soften. To understand that who we were wasn't wrong, it was necessary. But who we're becoming, that's where we're headed now.
It's a kind of quiet evolution. Not overnight. Not flashy. But real. And it stays with you.
And even though the struggle is hard, it's not wasted. It's not in vain. It's building something. Someone. You.
It's funny, isn't it, how we always want to see proof that we're changing, that we're on the right path. But some of the most important parts of growth are invisible for a while.
Exactly. You don't always get the validation straight away. Sometimes you just have to trust the process, even when it's quiet. Even when no one else notices.
And sometimes it's about unlearning things too. Like the idea that you always have to be productive to be worthy, or that you have to meet everyone's expectations to be good enough.
Yes. Or letting go of the belief that struggling means you're doing something wrong. When actually, it's proof that you're moving through something real. That you're alive, evolving, and not staying stuck.
We're not meant to stay in one version of ourselves forever. The people we're meant to become, they ask us to grow. To stretch. And that comes with friction.
But that friction also brings clarity. You start noticing what no longer fits. The patterns you want to leave behind. The kind of life you want to build, slowly, piece by piece.
And the amazing thing is, the more you step into that person, the more the world around you shifts too. You start attracting different people, different experiences, ones that meet you where you are now.
That's so true. And it's a reminder that outgrowing something doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It just means you're becoming more aligned with who you truly are.
The road isn't always smooth. But it's shaping you. Not just into someone better, but someone braver. Someone more real.
And I think the most powerful thing is knowing that, even in the middle of the mess, you're still moving forward. Still becoming. Still worthy of everything good that's coming.
And there's a sort of peace in realizing that the journey doesn't have to look a certain way. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to take a different route than what you first imagined.
Yes, because growth isn't always linear. Sometimes you take a step forward and then 2 steps back, not because you failed, but because you're learning, adjusting, healing.
Exactly. Healing and growing don't follow a straight line. It's more like waves, some days you feel clear and focused, and others you feel lost again. But that doesn't mean you're back at the beginning.
It just means you're human. And being human means carrying contradictions, being strong and struggling, being grateful and grieving, being hopeful and tired, all at once.
It's about allowing space for all of it. Not judging yourself for the hard days. Not rushing to fix everything. Just showing up for yourself, with patience.
That patience can be hard, though. Especially when you look around and feel like everyone else is moving faster, doing more, living bigger lives.
But we never really know what people are going through behind the scenes. Everyone has their own battles, their own timelines. Comparison will only cloud your view of what matters to you.
And maybe that's the real lesson. To stop measuring your worth by speed or status, and instead start measuring it by truth. By how honest you're being with yourself. By how gently you're learning to treat your own heart.
That's it. Because the person you're becoming, through all of this, isn't just stronger. They are more honest. More grounded. More in tune with what actually matters.
And that version of you. They are not built overnight. They are built moment by moment, choice by choice, on the days when you keep going without applause.
It's the quiet work that changes you. The things no one else sees but you keep doing anyway, because something in you refuses to quit.
And that something, it's not weakness. It's not just survival. It's the very strength that's shaping the person you're becoming.
So if you're listening to this right now and you feel like the path is hard or the progress is invisible, just know this, it's not for nothing. You're building something deep, something true. And it's going to carry you far.
You may not be able to see the full picture yet, but you're becoming someone you can be proud of. Keep going, even if it's slow. Especially if it's slow. The person you're becoming is worth every step.
Thanks for being with us today. We hope this reminded you that even in the struggle, you are still becoming, beautifully, bravely, and in your own time.
Until next time, take care of yourself. Be kind to your journey. And remember, you're not alone in this.
You're listening to the British Accent Podcast. See you again soon.